Nearly 2 decades after Michael Anthony's controversial exit from Van Halen, former frontman Sammy Hagar is breaking his silence on what he says really happened behind the scenes in 2006. Anthony, a founding member of the legendary rock band, played bass and delivered the signature high harmonies that helped define Van Halen's sound from 1974 to 2006. Despite his decades of loyalty, he was quietly replaced by Eddie Van Halen's then-teenage son, Wolfgang Van Halen, a move that sparked confusion and disappointment among fans. Now, according to Hagar, Anthony's dismissal had little to do with music, and everything to do with internal band politics. "Michael didn't leave Van Halen. He was pushed out," Hagar said in a recent interview. "And the real reason? He stayed friends with me after I left. That's all it took." Hagar parted ways with Van Halen in 2004 after a tense reunion tour. When Anthony continued his friendship with Hagar, occasionally jamming with him and keeping in touch, it reportedly struck a nerve with Eddie Van Halen, who had grown increasingly guarded about the band's inner circle. "Mike wasn't taking sides, he just didn't want drama," Hagar explained. "He loved the music, he loved the fans, but to the Van Halen camp, his loyalty to me was seen as a betrayal." Anthony was never formally fired, according to Hagar, but was slowly edged out, excluded from recording sessions, denied communication, and eventually replaced without a proper conversation. "He found out through the grapevine, basically. It was heartbreaking," Hagar said. Wolfgang Van Halen officially joined the band in 2006, taking over bass duties for the band's 2007 to 2008 reunion tour with David Lee Roth. While Hagar acknowledged Wolfgang's talent and accomplishments, he said Anthony's removal had more to do with family dynamics than musical direction. "Wolfie's a great musician. I give him all the credit in the world," Hagar said. "But let's be real. That spot was given to him because he was Eddie's son, and Mike. He got no thank you, no farewell, just silence." Perhaps most tragic, Hagar said, was that Anthony never had the chance to reconcile with Eddie Van Halen before the guitarist's death from cancer in 2020. Despite the unresolved tension, Anthony has rarely spoken out against the band, choosing instead to reflect on his years in Van Halen with gratitude. "Mike still calls it a dream," Hagar noted. "That's who he is, total class act." Today, Anthony continues to perform Van Halen hits with Hagar in their band The Circle, keeping the spirit of the classic lineup alive for longtime fans. "Mike deserved better, no doubt about it," Hagar said. "But his legacy? Untouchable. No one played or sang like him. He's the heart of Van Halen's sound."